Okay. Hi guys, my name is Matthew and I will be doing a first grade lesson on mathematics. So gonna have each and every one of you introduce yourselves just really quick.
I'll start. I'm Catherine.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Syra.
I'm Lisette.
And Alex, right?
I'm Alex.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be working on properties of operations, for, specifically addition. So the standard is a math standard from first grade. And my objective is by the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify and use properties of operations and strategies to add numbers within 20, okay? So that's what we're gonna be focusing on today. So I'm gonna start off by asking you guys, or you ladies, does anybody know what this symbol means in math?
It means equal.
Equal, yes, exactly. That means when things are equal to each other, okay? And now what about this symbol?
Addition.
Addition.
Plus sign?
Yeah, plus sign. So good. So that means, but this is when you add things together, okay? Add specifically numbers, okay? Good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm gonna show you guys a video. Today we're gonna be learning about the commutative and associative properties of addition. So we're gonna watch a quick little video and just so you guys can get a feel of what we're dealing with. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Let's start by taking a look at the commutative property by looking at our Skittles here. We have 7 plus 8 plus 3 Skittles. Now the word commutative has the word commute in it, which means to move around. So our Skittles represent the expression 7 plus 8 plus 3. But I can move around the 8 and the 3, so I now have 7 plus 3 plus 8. Those are equivalent expressions because they still both have an outcome of 18 total Skittles. And we were able to generate those equivalent expressions by using the commutative property. The associative property allows us to group terms together. So whether I group 8 plus 3 first or 7 plus 8 first, they're both equivalent expressions because, again, they both have the same outcome. Now we're going to look at how the commutative property allows us to.
Okay, so that was just a little bit of introduction on the topic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over some vocabulary just to get a refresher or to introduce the new topics. So, okay, it's kind of small. I'm sorry, I wrote a little bit too small. So the first one is addition. And addition is when you put two or more numbers together to find a total, okay? Now sum is the total for adding any amount of numbers together. As long as it's addition, it's called a sum. And the commutative property, it explains that changing the order of the numbers being added does not change the sum. So like they said, we had the seven Skittles in the video, plus 8 plus 3. You could have had 8 plus 3 plus 7, and it still would have equaled the same thing. And lastly, we have the associative property. It says the sum of three numbers remains the same no matter how the numbers are grouped. So she grouped the 7 and the 8 together and left the 3 out in the video. And then she also grouped the 8 and the 3 together and left the 7 out. So that's practically the same thing. Okay. Does everybody understand so far? Okay, good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some fill-ins, okay? So I have these problems. And so what I'm going to do is we have a little bank at the bottom, okay? So the commutative property says that any two numbers can be flipped and it'll equal the same thing, right? So we're gonna look at number 1. Number 1 is 8 plus 3. Which of these would be the same thing?
3 plus 8.
3 plus 8, exactly. So we're gonna put 3 plus 8. Okay, good. Now number 2. Number 2 says 5 plus 9. Now which one of those would be the same thing using the commutative property?
9 plus 5.
9 plus 5, exactly. 9 plus 5. And how about 2 plus 1?
1 plus 2.
1 plus 2, good. Now let's do 4 plus 6.
6 plus 4.
6 plus 4, good. And what about 6 plus 7?
7 plus 6.
7 plus 6, good. And lastly, 4 plus 3?
3 plus 4.
Plus 4, exactly. So that's what we mean by using the commutative property. You can flip them, you can have them in any order, and they're going to equal the same thing. Good. So now we're going to do a little bit of like a physical representation. Since I can't have anybody in person, I'm just wrote it out. So I have Jake, Jim, and Julia, okay? So now you have Jake, Jim, and Julia right here in this order. Is this the same thing as having Jim, Julia, and Jake?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because they're the same people but different order.
Exactly. So you can have them in this different orders, but they're the exact same people, okay? Now, what if we're dealing with groups, okay? What if I grouped Jake and Jim together, but left Julia out, and then I grouped Jim and Julia together, but left Jake out? Are they still the same people?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So we're talking about a specific group within a larger group. So now, number one, what property were we using right here?
The
The
commutative.
Commutative, good. And what property were we using right here?
The associative.
The associative, exactly. Great job. Okay, so next, just a little check. So the commutative property is any numbers can be ordered in any way and they'll mean the exact same thing. The associative is you can group two numbers and leave one out, and group another two numbers and leave one of them out, and they'll be the exact same thing. So just a quick assessment, what if I had 3 plus 2 plus 4? What's the total for that?
10.
3 plus 2 plus 4?
Oh, sorry, 9.
That's okay, my bad, I might have said it wrong. 9. So now what if I had 4 plus 3 plus 2? What would that equal?
9 as well.
9, exactly. And that's using the commutative property because I can flip them any way I want and they'll all equal 9 no matter what, okay? Good. So we're gonna do, this is kind of like guided practice and independent practice, but obviously we can't do it. You guys can't do it independently because I have a little bit amount of time left. So what we're gonna do is here, you're gonna tell me the total, okay? And we're gonna, this is focusing on the commutative property, okay? So someone tell me what 2 plus 5 is.
7.
7. So using the commutative property, if we have 5 plus 2, what does that equal?
7 as well.
7, good. Now number 2, 4 plus 5 equals what?
9.
9.
So that means 5 plus 4 also equals?
9.
9.
Exactly, good. Last one for the commutative. So we have 6 plus 2 equals what?
8.
8. So that means 2 plus 6 equals?
8.
8.
As well.
Good. You guys got this. Now this side focuses on the associative property, okay? So if I have 7 plus 5 plus 3, but I'm grouping 5 plus 3 together, we're going to ask to see if this is equal to grouping 7 plus 5 together and leaving 3 out. Is this equal?
Yes.
Yes. Why is it equal?
It's the same set of numbers.
Exactly, but just grouped differently. Some of them are grouped differently, right? Okay,
Yes.
good. So now we have number 5. Number 5 has 7, 2, and 1. And the 2 and the 1 are grouped together. But the other side has 6 plus 2 plus 1. And the 6 and the 2 are grouped together. Are these equal?
No,
No. Why aren't they not equal?
they have different numbers.
Yeah, what's the different number?
7 and 6.
Exactly. So they have to have the exact same numbers in order for it to work. Good. So lastly, I grouped 4 plus 3 together and then added 2 at the end. is this equal to having 4 on the side and then grouping 3 plus 2 together?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They're the exact same numbers. I'm just grouping 4 plus 3 in one of them, 3 plus 2 in the other one. Good. You guys did great. So now we're just gonna add, can someone tell me, I'm gonna have 3 people, 3 volunteers, just tell me what they learned today. So just any volunteers.
I learned that for commutative property, you can group, if they're the same numbers, you can group them together in any way and you get the same answer.
Yes, good job, Chloe. Next one.
I learned that grouping the numbers differently isn't going to change the equation unless the actual numbers are different.
Exactly, good. Good job, Alex. And last one.
I'll go. So even though you rearrange the numbers, as long as they're the same, they have the same output, or the same, they equal the same number or total.
Yes, good job, Catherine. That's amazing. Thank you guys. You guys did amazing this lesson, and thank you for making this a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, thank you. You guys are free to go.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank